Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about my evolving relationship with luxury items. A couple of influencers that I follow have been purging their luxury items. I feel like there's an overall movement in the fashion influencer world towards more conscious purchases, something that I really resonate with. But I also have been guilty of being really obsessed with buying luxury goods. I never went to the point of overbuying. I've always been really cautious with my money and my budget. But I do have to say that there was a point in my life where I followed luxury drops religiously. I had a running list of bags that I lusted over, that I endlessly researched. And I did ended up making some purchases. I feel complicated about them. So I thought I'd show you some of these and talk about how I got to purchase some of my luxury pieces and how I feel about them now. I love fashion. I love bags. I love shoes. I love accessories. But I'm also an incredibly practical person and very budget conscious, which means that I don't ever spend my money frivolously. When I make a big purchase, it's been thought of for years. And that is the story of this bag. This bag is so popular that it's gone through several iterations. The first iteration had feet and a hook that allowed you to wear it crossbody. They got rid of that, and that would be the second iteration, which is the one that I have. And then the third iteration, I believe, has less details. This was a bag that I gifted myself when I turned 30. I was living in Amsterdam at the time, and I've been looking at this bag for years. I had watched every YouTube video reviewing this bag, and I really wanted to give myself something for the milestone of turning 30, which, in hindsight is a really arbitrary milestone because everyone turns 30. It's not like you achieve something anyway. But I was feeling really grateful for my life at the time because I had already lived in Europe, left Europe to find a different career, and had come back to Europe with my dream career with a visa sponsorship in a city that I was in love with. I felt a real good sense of achievement for starting my 30s exactly where I wanted to be. So I wanted to commemorate that with a luxury purchase. I had purchased luxury bags before in outlet malls, but never full price. And just to give you a backstory, I always cared about fashion, but because I moved so much, I was never able to have a closet that kept growing. I would buy things, I would grow my collection, and then I would have to sell it or donate it every time I moved. So for a lot of my 20s, my wardrobe fit into two large suitcases. So, despite my interest in fashion, my lifestyle never really allowed me to grow my closet. But also, I wasn't making that much money at the time. So, spending thousands of dollars on a bag was just unimaginable in my 20s. So, I bought this bag, and I've worn this honestly like a handful of times. And to be honest, I don't wear it because it's not the right bag for me in my current lifestyle. I carry a lot more things in this bag, and I don't love how the opening is not as wide. I'm definitely a tote bag girl, a backpack girl. I do like to take it traveling to cities where I do want to look good. Like I took this to London and I felt really good. I felt good going into nicer restaurants and nicer shops. No matter how much people tell you that luxury is like a waste of money, you can get the same quality at Coach, Madewell, and I do have those bags, but there is something about wearing luxury goods that does make you feel good. At least it makes me feel good. It is a status symbol at the end of the day, whether you like it or not. I feel myself being more confident, and I notice that people notice me when I wear this bag. I'm glad I have it. It has sentimental reasons for me. It's a beautiful bag. I even eventually got this little bag charm that I got from Real World. That's also from Loewe, which I think goes really well with this bag. Ultimately, I'm really glad I have it. But if I were to be objective and think about cost per wear, I don't think this was the right purchase. For example, this is the bag from Madewell, the Berkeley bucket bag that I got for less than $200 that I've shown in my previous videos. I have worn this to death. I like this because it's a shoulder bag and it's big enough to carry all my things, including a water bottle and an extra layer. Unlike this bag, where it doesn't really fit beyond like my necessity. But I do think that there is a place for a casual bag that you can just throw anywhere and you don't mind getting it ruined because you know you can easily replace it, versus a bag that you're a little bit more precious about. So since purchasing this bag, it didn't like trigger something for me where I almost felt like now I need to buy more. Now I need to grow my collection. It was actually the opposite. I realized, okay, I finally bought myself a luxury bag. I feel a sense of achievement, and that's been satisfied emotionally. I still like luxury bags because I think they're beautifully crafted and they make me feel really confident. But I don't know if I would spend this kind of money again on a bag because ultimately I'm too precious with it. So since then, I've been exclusively looking at the secondhand market. And I know secondhand market sometimes can be like marked up even higher than retail. So when I say secondhand market, I'm talking like vintage, sub $500. Like that's kind of like my bar now. Sub $500 bag. To be completely honest with you, I could buy a Coach bag or a Polen bag for that price. But to me, like that doesn't give me the same feeling as wearing like a vintage Bottega that I got for a steal. This bag that I got as a present to myself for the achievement that I made. So I think there's still a place in my life for luxury bags, but I just prefer to buy them vintage and used so that A, I don't feel the pressure of keeping it pristine like I do with this bag, but also it reflects my financial priority. The second luxury item that I want to talk to you about are my Gucci loafers. This was actually a present, so I didn't even buy this myself. And I got them sold. You can see that I've worn them, and they are incredibly comfortable. I do feel incredibly chic when I wear them, and I probably will have this for the rest of my life, and I will wear them again and again. However, the one thing I've learned about luxury shoes is that if I was precious with a luxury bag, I'm even more precious with shoes. And that's just because shoes get ruined. Shoes are dirty. They get scuffed. People step on them. So when I wear this pair, I am so conscious of the fact that I'm wearing them that I am not present in what I'm doing. I have a constant like thread of anxiety in the back of my mind. And that is not how I want to carry on with my day. You know, maybe the trick is to become so rich that ruining a pair of Gucci loafers is meaningless to you. But at the same time, even if I were to be that rich, I don't know if I want to adapt that mindset. I don't think you need to spend this much money to get this look and this comfort and this quality. And I think I would feel a lot more comfortable if these loafers were even like $200-300 as opposed to, I don't know how much these are, probably almost $1,000. So my lesson has been with at least designer or luxury shoes is that they're not worth it. Just because they're shoes and they get ruined and they get dirty, I don't think it's worth spending that much money for status. I'd much rather spend that on a bag or something that I can wear. The third piece of luxury item that I want to show you is my Rolex. This, I don't remember the exact model name. I'll put it down below. They don't make this size Rolexes anymore. I thought about this purchase for more than 5 years before I made it. I think this is arguably the most amount of money I've spent on an item, like a fashion item. And once again, I think I'll have this for life. I treated myself to this a couple years ago. I was laid off from a job during the great tech exodus. This was when companies were laying off people left, right, and center. And I was on a visa in the States. So if I didn't find a job within 3 months, I would have been kicked out, which is quite scary. It actually happened a week after I had just signed a lease with my husband in San Francisco. It was a really scary period. I hustled like crazy during those 3 months and was able to get 3 offers from 3 different companies. And I felt such a huge sense of achievement from that, that I said, you know what? I've been looking at this watch for so long. They have one in stock in the exact model and details that I've been looking for. I'm going to treat myself. And I think I spent around like just over like $3,000 on this, which is pretty good for a Rolex, to be honest with you. The one downside about this watch is that because it's a mechanical watch, if you don't wear it every day and it doesn't have movement, you do have to wind it every single time you put it on. And I've heard that that can be bad for the watch itself. There's mixed opinions about whether this should be on one of those cases that rotate the watch so that it's always charged, or you should just let it sit. This is an item that I honestly regret less than even my bag. To me, a watch is functional, it's timeless, and every time I look at it, it brings me to that point where I could have been defeated. I could have been kicked out. I would have been separated from my husband. But I persevered, and I persevered hard. It has sentimental value. I don't think this was a bad purchase. Now, do I think that I need another luxury watch? Maybe a gold one, but not a silver one. I don't wear watches every day because I'm surrounded by devices that tell me what time it is, and I'm on the computer, and like I don't want to tap my bracelet against the table all the time. I don't plan on growing my luxury watch collection. Like I said, I can see myself treating myself to like a gold watch, which would be significantly more expensive than this one at a certain point in my life when I feel like I've hit another milestone. But you know, at the end of the day, this is a watch that people don't notice. Unlike the bag, where people might compliment me or look at my outfit and make judgments about me based on the bag that I'm wearing, this watch, honestly, nobody notices. Maybe men will more than women because I feel like Rolex is more popular amongst men. But it's my little treat. It's my little secret. It's a thing that just did it for myself, not for the status, not for the recognition. I respect the craftsmanship of Rolex watches so much. So I don't think this was a bad purchase. Jewelry in general, I don't consider a bad purchase. So, with that being said, as you can see, I have mixed feelings about luxury, and I think that's okay. It forces us to be really critical about what we spend our money on and to also appreciate when you do buy something for yourself. I currently don't have any running list of luxury items that I want to buy, but that might change, and that's okay. I think the thing that I've learned for myself is that if it's something that will go out of style or will not adapt to my evolving lifestyle, like bags, try to keep it vintage or secondhand, and you'll less likely regret the purchase when you anchor it to a meaningful milestone like this watch. So I'm not sure if you resonated with me as you heard this. I don't judge people who buy a lot of luxury items. Like if that brings you joy and if that's how you want to spend your hard-earned money, please go ahead. That is not my place to judge others. This is just how I've experienced luxury over the years. And even though I'm in my 30s now, I have enough disposable income to treat myself to luxury goods. I still am very cautious and intentional, and I still take years to think about what I want to buy. And I think that's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. So I guess that's really the message I wanted to send, is that everyone can choose their own journey with luxury, and For as long as it's aligned with your values and you feel good about it, then it's okay. All right, this video was a little bit different for me, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye.